What's up guys, I'm Brent from PrecisionLED.com, and here we have a Ford F150 we'll be performing an LED headlight conversion on. Now we'll be performing the installation on a 2015, but the installation is compatible with all years 2015 plus, which is the 13th generation. Now as you can see, I've already gone ahead and done the install on one side, so we're just going to show you how to install on the opposite side. And so the kit that we'll be installing today would be a PrecisionLED headlight kit. So let's get started. Now, in order to access the halogen bulb, we're going to want to remove the whole headlight housing. And in order to do so, we're first going to be removing this outside paneling, this bumper paneling. And in order to do that, we're first going to be removing this clip here that's on top of the engine bay. We're going to be using our fork-shaped wedge tool. You can also remove it with a flathead screwdriver if you don't have one of these. And you just want to pry on the inner portion. There's a small groove that you can pry from. And once the inner portion has loosened up, just come from underneath. It should come loose. Now there are a couple more bolts that are holding this paneling into place, which are right here. And we can remove those just with a socket wrench, and our socket would be a size 9/32. And now once the bolts are removed, in order to get access to this inner paneling right here, we're going to want to remove this outside portion of the wheel well. This paneling, you're just going to want to pry outward. Just be very gentle, you don't want to damage anything. There we are. And once you have the wheel well outside paneling loosened up, you can pry just from right here. Pull the inner paneling outward as well. There we are. So now that we have the bumper paneling removed, we're next going to be removing this bottom outer paneling. And in order to do so, we're first going to be removing these 6 bolts here, which you can do just with a 10mm socket and a socket wrench or a power drill. So now that we have the bolts removed, you're just going to want to pull this bottom paneling outward. There we are. And the last couple bolts that we'll have to remove in order to remove the housing would be these 2 bolts on top of the housing, and this one right here. And the last bolt that we'll be removing is this one right here, which is a bit difficult to access, so we'll be using our extension along with our 10mm socket and power drill. So now that we have all the paneling and the bolts removed, you're just going to want to pull the entire housing outward. You just want to be gentle because there are still a few power connectors here that we'll be wanting to remove. This one right here, you just want to twist counterclockwise and pull outward. I believe this is the parking light. And the next one is this connector right here. This would be the power connector for the headlamp. You just want to pry down on this top tab and pull outward. And the last one would be the turn signal light, which is this one back here. Just want to twist counterclockwise and pull out. There we are. And here we have the housing. So here we have the headlight housing. We're going to be swapping out the headlight bulb, which is this light right here. And in order to do so, you're just going to want to first remove this rubber grommet, and you can do so just by pulling on one of these tabs. And now that you have access to the halogen bulb, you just want to reach in, twist counterclockwise, and pull out very gently to remove. And then you're just going to want to remove the bulb by pressing down on these tabs and pulling away. And so here we have our LED that we'll be installing. Now you just want to make sure to line up the tabs first inside of the housing right here. And once everything is seated flush, you're just going to want to twist the bulb clockwise in order to lock it into place. And so here we have the dust cover. Now what we would typically recommend is just to cut a small hole in the center of the dust cover, just maybe 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch, so that you can feed these bulb wires through, as well as this power connector here that's coming from inside of the housing. And in order to seal up that hole, we would recommend going out and purchasing a small rubber grommet so that the dust cover is still dust proof. Now for the sake of this install, we're not going to be cutting a hole in the dust cover because this is a rental. So we're just going to move forward and connect the ballast here. Now first we're going to be wanting to take the oval side of the plug and just connect it right here to the power connector that's coming from the housing. And then we're going to be taking the smaller round connector that's coming from the ballast and then connecting it to the bulb that's already installed in the housing. And then once you have that connected, you're just going to want to go ahead and twist this plug here over the connector. It makes it a little bit more waterproof. Now again, you would typically want to make these plug connections with the wires fed through the hole that you've cut through the rubber grommet. You could also seal the hole just with a little bit of electrical tape, or you could just remove the rubber grommet, or excuse me, the dust cover entirely and call it a day. But we would recommend using a rubber grommet to seal the hole. Now before reassembling the housing, we're just going to test the bulb to make sure everything's working properly. Now we're just going to take this power connector here coming from the vehicle and reconnect it back to this power port here. And now let's just test the lights. So now we'll be mounting the ballast, and we've chosen to mount the ballast just right here atop the wheel well. And we'll be mounting with a 3M double-sided sticky tape. Now before applying the tape, we're just going to want to use some degreaser in order to wash off any dust that may have come on the ballast as well as on top of the wheel well. So we just have some degreaser here, a couple sprays. And just do the same thing on top of the wheel well here. And now that we have a clean, dust-free surface, we'll take the 3M pad and we'll just peel off one side. And we'll apply this to the back of the ballast. And then just apply some pressure to make sure that you have a solid connection, and just remove the other side and just mount the ballast right where the surface that we just cleaned off. And just be sure to apply some pressure to make sure that you have a solid connection. And so now we'll just reassemble the headlight housing. Now you just want to be sure that all of the tabs are into place. The holes are placed where the bolts are inserted. And now we'll take our housing outer casing and we'll line that up accordingly as well. that in. Everything looks good. And now we'll just reassemble the bumper paneling here. Now you just want to line everything up on the outer portion of the vehicle. You're just going to want to be sure to line up these tabs here accordingly. You're just going to want to snap them into place, both this white and this yellow tab. Snap them into these clips right here. So just go ahead and do that.
And that's the end of the installation. If you have any questions or concerns, please email us at help@precisionled.com, or you can reach us online and submit a support ticket at www.precisionled.com/contact. Now, like we said before, please like or subscribe if you enjoyed the video or enjoyed the process for what we do. It really does help us out when we make the next one, knowing that there's people out there watching the videos. Have a good one.